All right, so this is group 14, week 3 discussion board post, post 1. All right, so this week we are taking a look at some of the gender roles that the media has subliminally messaging through its content. First off, I'm going to start by looking back at some of the old school content, stuff from like 50, 60 years ago, for example. If any of you have seen shows like I Love Lucy or The Dick Van Dyke Show, you will understand that these shows have a more traditional approach to how they portray gender roles. I Love Lucy tends to show off the idea that women usually tend to stay at home and are often bored, looking for ridiculous things to do just to stay entertained while they're cooking, cleaning, and taking care of things, while the men shows, it shows the men working out more often and taking care of business and just bringing home the bread and stuff. While the Dick Van Dyke Show follows a similar trend with Mary Tyler Moore in it, it often shows the conflict dynamic between men being dumb and doing stupid things and just getting into trouble, and the women explaining this to them beforehand, but and letting them know the consequences of their actions, but the men disregard it and do it anyway, just to have the women at the end use quotes like, "I told you so." Interestingly enough, although this dynamic has changed in the past half-century with modern shows, some of these trends continue, many of which can be seen in modern classics such as The Office and Parks and Rec, and even more prominently in shows such as Modern Family. The guys still seem to be behaving like idiots, and the women are still, in their own ways, telling them the "I told you so's" after. However, what has changed is the roles and the characters in the show. It's, to this day, still dominated by just white guys, but there's a slow shift in focus of the women being more main characters, such as in Parks and Rec, how the main character is a woman. And now we're seeing more female characters in depth and having better characterizations other than just a group of guys being in the show. And then, like, here's the funny guy, here's, the smart guy, here's the good looking guy, and then, there's the woman. That now we're seeing female characters that their personalities aren't just dictated by she's the woman. They actually have individual traits that are, kind of mirroring the liberties and justices that they've given to men. It's a slow process, but it's growing. Other than that, I would say that I like how I'm seeing a lot more dynamics in the characterizations of females, and the men can sometimes, for example, can take more feminine approaches, kind of like in, what was it called? Modern Family. There we go. All right, so things are changing, but it's kind of like a slow generational thing, and women, ethnic minorities are starting to kind of have their more major roles in TV, I've noticed. All right, guys.